Good evening. My name is Jay Rothman, and welcome to Real Men, Real Talk Live. Good evening. Again, my name is Jay Rothman. I am the host of the show, and I'm excited to have in the studio this evening. I'm going to first introduce my co-host, Mr. Jeff Fasano, coming in from Nashville, Tennessee. Josh Richard coming in from a bubble somewhere in the United States, working on a TV set. Charles Mattocks coming in somewhere from Tampa, Florida, I believe. And we have Evis Heath, the man of the land from down under. He calls his home Australia. Welcome to the show, gentlemen.
Welcome.
Thanks for having us, my brother.
Yeah, man.
Charles hit that cue.
Man.
So
Man.
boom.
Man.
It was like, here I am. You couldn't have made that. That couldn't have
Here
been done
I am. Stand me.
Love it.
Well, I'd like to just say, great to see you, Josh Richard. Last week we missed you. I know you were working the candle, burning it on both ends, and tonight you hustled back to your suite, and it's good to see you.
That's great to be. I really missed you guys like a lot, and these Friday nights are my healing time too. And where we go and the trust that we all have in one another, I mean, this is special. So I'm so grateful to be here today.
Well, last week we ended our show based on the topic was, are you living your life is in a playground, or are you living in a battlefield? And at the end of the show, we set a challenge for all of us. And that challenge was to commit to some type of play in this week. And so, although we didn't talk about it in our pre-show meeting on Tuesday, I'm going to put it out there. Any of you guys have any success with that before we jump into tonight's show topic of abundance? Anybody get out and do something that they typically haven't done in the past for play? And if so, what was that like?
And explain play to everyone.
Wow, man.
Ev, what's play? What's your definition of play?
My everyday's play, brother. You know this. Man, I'm always out in nature. I'm always doing my thing. I don't look at work as any work anymore. It's all play. But when I look at play, for what's opened up for me, and we're coming in tonight about abundance. Look at that word. Who's having a dance out there? Man, there's so much stuff out there not to be dancing about at the moment. And just here in the land down under, we've got a lot of places shutting down again. So we're coming into our second wave. And you've got to really ask yourself out there, my brothers and sisters, are you prepared for this second wave? Are you playing? Are you living in that battlefield still? Or are you going to say bye-bye and wave goodbye to what you really should be down here doing? Because you, my brothers and sisters, you are abundance. And at that very deep essence and that very spirit core, that divine essence, you are abundance. So I'm really looking forward to diving in about this morning, Jay. And my brothers over there and across the side of the other pond, thanks for having me as always.
Charles, were you able to dissect the answer from Evis as far as?
Not really. Evis is a man of amazing words and talent and passion. That one, that hit right over me, baby.
I think it was in the abundance.
It's in
that he got across.
Now Jeff heard me. Jeff hears me, man. Jeff feels me. Jeff feels me.
I'll break it down for you, Charles, real simple. So for me, play is anything that doesn't feel like work. Play for me is anything that gets me out of my head and gets me into the moment of just enjoyment of connecting with myself, maybe connecting with other people. If it's a play date, So for me, even though if any of you guys didn't notice last week when you all committed to a play date, what that was going to look like for you, I didn't share my commitment. I shared it after the show. So for those of you that maybe thought I was trying to go under the radar, the commitment I made was that I was gonna show up and do some bouncing on the mini trampolines that the adults are going on these days. They're called rebounders. And I not only did it once, I ended up doing it twice this week. And I really enjoyed it. It's a great form of play. The sound, the music that the trainer had on last night was an amazing soundtrack. Brought me back a lot to my younger years, and it's just this high energy music. You're pumped up. She's kind of giving you the moves, and not only you're having fun, but you're also impacting your lymphatic system. You're turning it on and turning off the fight or flight, and so it just loosens you up. You get your cardio. A lot of upper arm, lower body. You're doing, all muscle groups are working it. And so so that was, for me, that was a great experience because it was a new form of play that I hadn't done before. And yes, I went into it with some fear, like what happens if I fall off? What happens if my feet get caught between, say between the bungee cords that surround it? And a lot of those little questions that can take us out of even signing up to play, to even go on the first play date. But, I've fallen enough. I've fallen enough on almost every mountain trail that I have stepped into. I have slipped and fallen, and I've gotten bloody, and I've gotten cut up. Yeah. But I've learned that each time I fall, just like that little toddler that learns how to walk and eventually how to run, they didn't get there by not falling. They got there by falling and learning about their inner power. How empowered they are that they can fall and get up and have some pain and then keep going. Yeah. And so, for me, that was the metaphor. That is how I choose to live and play today. That, I'm not jumping out of airplanes. I'm not taking sports to the extreme, but I'm able to at least get out there and have some fun and connect with myself and others. So that's what I did. Anyone else want to share if they had any success in a play date?
Well, I had a photo shoot last Sunday, which was fun.
Yeah.
My work is play.
Yeah.
I get paid and I got to play for a couple of hours last Sunday and create. For me, when I get into that creative mode, that artist head of creating, seeing light and doing all of that, I'm telling you, it's another level. It's like the 11th dimension. Yeah. Yeah. And doing that and creating and then doing it with someone else because I'm serving them, giving what they need and what they want, and then seeing the creation come together from a few ideas. That's been my work for 20 years, and it's not work. Yeah. Mm-hmm. My work used to be loading the camera with film.
Yeah.
Chad Fox says he committed to going fishing, and he said he did it. Well done, Chad.
Nice,
Chad
brother.
Fox, beautiful. I love that. I almost called him Chad Fisher, but it is Chad Fox who went fishing. Thank you for joining us this evening. For those of you that are watching us live on replay, thank you for being here. If you hear something that you like or love, with love, just gently touch or tap that love or like button and let us know. Light us up. Let us know that you're hearing something that's resonating. And please feel free to share and join us in this conversation tonight. Charles, did you take any time? Were you able to come up with something that you typically don't do?
Well, I think kind of like Jeff, and I always say, man, I'm working my way out, not in. And as some of like the things that I look to do, to transition to that next level, right? Because that's where I'm looking to do. I'm looking to transition to that next thing. I've got this vision in my mind of owning a retreat and a spa and living that island life. And I think, this week was a really positive week toward that. And, I'm headed out to Dominican Republic soon, man, to go look at some properties, man. And so for me, it was like, all the hard work has paid off and it is paying off. And that thing where I see myself, man, waking up and planting, fruit and vegetables, and waking up to somebody who works at the retreat, making us some fresh breakfast in the morning, man, and some fresh juice, and being able to head down, man, barefoot to the sand. That to me, that's where my mind is, where that's my playground, right? Because right now it's even if I have a fun day, that what I'm always thinking of is that next level thing, that next level thing, that other, like from the movie Shawshank Redemption, my Zuwataneo, if that makes any sense.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
All right.
And that ties in with what Jay was saying too. It's that kid who falls and gets up and keeps the kid doesn't give up when they fall once and say, I can't walk.
Yeah.
It's holding that vision. And that's why, Charles, you will absolutely have that, because you keep holding that vision. You don't let the little things that stop you along the way, stop you permanently. You find a way around it. You find a way to keep going. You hold that vision so strong in your mind, it will be yours.
Exactly. You gotta believe, honestly, I think that sometimes people have gotten into this rut of, we just got to work this job. We got to get up every day. We've got to, head to work and do what we have to do. And that's all that life is. And there's so much more to life that we really need to run with. Right. And even some people in here. Right. And, I know Donna is an amazing professional, man, and a lawyer and all of that, man. And I keep telling, man, you got to run, girl. We only get one shot at this, man. And we got to run with this bad boy, and interesting. I was actually talking to Elena earlier, and I had told her about this show. And I said, you know what? I said, I'm growing from this show. I said, I think when I first started, it was, fun, and I'm playing the producer role and all of that stuff like that. But it's like every day that I'm doing this with you guys, I look at, Jeff's story, and I look at where Josh is. I look at where everyone is with Jay's, and I'm like, yo, they're at that transitional stage where they have seen, they have touched, they have done, they have loved, they have partied, they have rode the bull, and now it's about this next, tranquil situation and learning. And man, I'm not even gonna lie to you, man. I was listening to that one song that I've been playing for a little while, and I'm not gonna keep talking, and I don't show a whole lot of emotion here, and for whatever reason that song hit me. And when I say, man, I was, man, for about 2 days I was really just in tears, just listening to that song about God, and I'm just like, wow, just and I even thought, man, I might play this song on there just to throw out some tears on y'all. But let me stop.
Yeah. Let's bring that on. Let's bring it on. I mean, this is a room of 5 men that aren't afraid to acknowledge real men do cry. Yeah. And so I love that, Charles. Love to hear it. What I'd like to do while Charles is pulling that up is I'd like to transition into tonight's show is all about abundance. And, are we living in abundance? What does abundance mean to you? Is your self-worth tied into your financial worth? That's a big one. That to me is the root of what really understanding what is the true definition of abundance. Is our self-worth tied into our financial worth? And does abundance have a price tag? And how does it make you feel and is it a feeling? Is abundance a feeling, or is it something else? And so what I'd like to do is open up tonight's show conversation and ask Evis Love to kind of go deep diving into, kind of swim around a little bit and really start to break down for all of us. What is your perspective on what abundance is and what does it mean in your life today?
Damn, another big show. We could dive in deep for a couple of episodes, my brothers. But look, I did a bit of a quick promo video this morning, and You know, for me, abundance, it's really come into my world probably the last couple of years to really understand and understand what that word means for me. Now, I'm not here to judge anyone. You know, abundance might mean that your bankrolls laying over note after note in your account. It may mean that you've got the big mansion. It may mean that you've got all of this stuff outside of self. When I started to come into the term and really trying to understand the word abundance, I started to realize that this was more of a state of being. You know, the last couple of weeks we've been talking about this survival state. And when people are in this survival state, living in fear, you're in lack. When you're in lack, you are limited, man. I said this in previous shows, and I say this after time and time again. There is a new sheriff in town, and it's called your higher self, and it's just waiting to be in your body. And what higher self does is all unlimited. It's all possibilities. It's potential. So it really comes down to the creator, nothing outside of self. That is you, that is going to be creating the abundance in your life. So abundance for me, just for this week's sake. I put it out there last week on Real Men, Real Talk. I was going to pick up the paintbrushes. Well, this week, funnily enough, after I picked up the paintbrushes, I'm now in co-designing with a fashion brand called Delton Trap, 3 designs down. I'm just about to paint a whole exhibition for a school over in one of our local down under places here in Australia. And I've also got another gig coming up that I just found out last night. So to me, abundance is coming from something deeper. It's coming from your soul's purpose. It's coming from your gift. And that gift for me as a child, it was slowly filtered out of my life. Because when I went through school and I went through uni, you know what people used to say to me about my gift of being an artist? How are you going to make money? How are you going to make money? So when you start to realize that you are the money, that you are the prosperity, you become the abundancer, man. So yeah, man, we could dive in deep about the abundance for me, Jay.
So, hey, Evis, let me ask you, do people, because I mean, all of us are almost independent here. I mean, do people still look at you and wonder, like, you know, he doesn't have like a regular 9 to 5. What, you know, how do you address that?
Exactly how I did at the start of the show. I'm nothing. I'm nothing, brother.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
When we put ourselves into that box, what am I doing? I'm limiting myself. But higher self wants to do all. It wants to just be. See, in that state of being, it's not about a state of doing. It's a state of being. And then all of this law of attraction stuff starts to come into your life from up here, but connected down to here. This is where the dance is. It's in your heart.
Yeah. And I could agree. I'm not going to take too much time, but I could agree. I've never had a job, man. I mean, literally, maybe like 16. You know what I'm saying? I think I worked at a place called Gals. It rhymes with cows. Man, I was there, man, for about an hour and a half. I'm like, this ain't for me. And then I think I worked in a mailroom in a bank, like at like 17 or something like that, for like school stuff in Manhattan, just to be able to say it. And man, I think that lasts about 3 weeks. And I was like, this ain't for me. So no, I could relate to that.
I love it, brother.
Jeff Fasano, I want to switch gears and I want to invite you into this conversation because you have been an absolutely awesome listener tonight. And you know, there's a time and place for that in all of our relationships. I learned that just in the last 5 years, when we are able to listen and support somebody else, it's the greatest wisdom we can provide most of the time. You know, we tend to think that people want to hear what we have to say, but most of the time they just want to be heard. So Jeff Fasano, I'd like you to be heard right now. On abundance, that is.
Am I on mute? Wow, that abundance for me is a big challenge. It's a challenge because for a long time in my life, for a very long time in my life, Abundance for me on some wounded level was about how much money I had in my bank account or did not have in my bank account. As much as I've accomplished and what I have done in my life, leaving the corporate world at 40 and creating a life of photographer, I went through all of that with the pure joy of doing what I was doing. It's just in the last couple of years, especially when I was living in Los Angeles, that something inside of me clicked to somewhere, more than likely what I need to heal, and said to myself, how can I consider myself abundant if my bank account is this? How can I even take myself seriously if my bank account is this? It's an amazing, amazing thing for me. And I have no idea how I really got there, to be honest with you. Probably because of getting older. You know, I'm 62 now. But what I'm starting to realize very slowly is what my abundance truly is. And as Evis just said, my abundance is me. We are our abundance. If we really go in and find out who we truly are, who we are being, not doing. It's not about what I'm doing. It's not about telling anybody, well, I've got this great photo shoot with this person, or look at my portfolio and see what I've done. In some way, shape, or form, that's an affirmation that I've moved through a life and created what I wanted. But our abundance is us. Our abundance is our being. Our abundance is in our soul. Our abundance is also our talents, gifts, and abilities. Looking at our talents, gifts, and abilities, what we all do well, what we all love to do, is our abundance. That is what our abundance is. How we help people, how we nurture people, how we listen to people, how we interact with people, is all our abundance within ourselves. And it's not about our bank account. It's not about the big house. It's not about how many cars I drive. Am I driving a Tesla or a Maserati? Do I have a sailboat? Do I have this? Do I have that? Those are all nice playthings.
Yeah.
And somehow, some way, where I was, to me, is if I had X amount of dollars in my bank account, then I was proving to everyone outside of myself, A, I was abundant, and B, I was worthwhile.
Beautiful, Jeff.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
Worthwhile, man. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
I was worthy. I was worthy for you to like me and love me.
Yeah.
And it's just this askew. It's really about defining what abundance is for you based upon how you value yourself and honor yourself.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Love that. Jeff Fasano. Bringing it home one more time on Real Men, Real Talk Live. Josh Richer. Well, it's been a couple of weeks, and you've had a few minutes here now to warm up. So I know you came in hot tonight. I'd love to hear what your experience and your relationship in your life has been with abundance.
Well, Jillian called it, and Ev called it, and Jeff, you said the same. It's from within. And I struggled with abundance for a lot of years. I thought that meant my bank account, and I thought that meant, and focusing on that meant I was living in lack, just as Ev was saying. And so, and that energy level, how can the universe meet you? How can these gifts come to you when you are in an energy of lack? So it's taken me a lot of years, and it finally clicked for me last year, early this year, was to let it all go. Stop thinking about the money. Stop thinking about what I was defining as success or abundance. And I finally let all that go. And I'm gonna pull a J now and break it down for you, super, super simple. And what I did to get to this beautiful abundance with the universe. It was meeting me at the level. So here's a quick tool for you all. And I figured this out, and this is going to be a huge subject in my next book. So take every experience in your life that you experience or that you go through each day, every person in your life, everything, rate it on a scale of 1 to 10 as far as your joy.
Yeah.
Just go through life thinking about your level of joy. If it's a 3 or 4 or below, get rid of it. Only keep the 5s and above.
Yeah.
And that's hard. And I get it. And if it's causing you stress and it's a negative number, of course, get rid of that. And sometimes even good things can be I took some extra courses, but it was causing me a lot of stress because it was extra work. And so it became a negative. So I let it go. I pushed it out of my life. So if you literally, so here's the breakdown. Don't focus on doing. Don't focus on achieving. Don't focus on anything. Focus on how you feel. Take everything in life that's below a 4 and get rid of it and keep the 5s and aboves. Now, what this does is this makes you happy. You're enjoying more of your day. You're vibrating at a much higher level. And just by following your joy, the abundance comes. The universe can meet you at this higher new level. And that's when, that was the final trip for me when it clicked, was to just focus on within. What made me happy and get rid of all the rest. And then the universe could meet me and all the opportunities came. And all that mental time I was taking up worrying about money, stress, and all these other things, that was gone too. Just let it all go. Find your joy and the abundance will come.
Beautiful. Josh, richer. Woo. Woo. Well,
I think, Josh, you take another week off.
Yeah.
And then come back in with something like that again.
He's going to be the Dalai Lama by the time you get back.
Exactly.
The Holy Grail out here, Josh.
Because I got nothing to say now.
I don't
doubt that, Jeff.
think that's the truth at all.
I doubt that, Jeff.
What I'd like to do is I'm going to take a moment here to share my own personal story and experience with my relationship with abundance. Yeah. I spent, like Jeff, for me, over 3 decades chasing abundance and really grabbing for all that I could get my hands on, whether it be, the homes, the cars, the more expensive cars, the bigger homes, the vacations, the clothing, love clothing, the dinners out, all of it. And the more I accumulated and the more money I made, I felt less fulfilled because I kept thinking that when I just get to that next level, I'll be there, I'll be okay then. And, that was a dance. I played that tune for over 30 years and I had a very successful career. I was not happy inside. Inside I was hurting. I was just surviving, even though I had a lot of accolades and a lot of acknowledgement at home and in business. And when I literally was near death in 2015, for the first time in my life, I was forced to really look at my life while I was hooked up to multiple catheters in all parts of my body, from my legs to my neck, on morphine and still in pain. And that was probably the greatest gift that the universe gave to me as I laid there, because I really got to understand and get some clarity because I had enough time. I was forced to slow down in that moment and really assess what have I accomplished in my life. And what I understood in that moment, maybe it was day 4 or 5 in the hospital, I understood that although I had achieved and accomplished and accumulated a lot of stuff, that dance was no longer working for me. Why? Because I couldn't even walk 20 feet without having to stop and rest for 2 minutes because the pain was so excruciating, because my blood flow was 99% blocked in one leg and 90 on the other, unknowingly.
Wow.
So I couldn't even dance anymore. I was forced to stop. And in having the rug pulled out from under me, I began to understand the true essence of what abundance could mean. And today, true abundance for me is I live a very simple life. I don't have what I used to have. And I don't, financially, I'm not earning the kind of income that I had for decades. But I'm no longer empty inside. I'm no longer suffering inside. I'm no longer just surviving. And I'm no longer chasing what I thought was going to make me feel better about me. I'm no longer doing. I'm just being.
Yeah.
And it's a new way to experience a dance. So today, my dances are skipping on mountains. My dances are hiking. Yesterday, I did almost a 6-mile hike, 4.5 hours, with a bypass that's 100% blocked. So I don't have one artery in my right leg to fuel blood from my hip to my toes. But that's not going to stop me from dancing in abundance. That actually is my motivator for getting out every single day, whether I'm now jumping or I'm skipping or I'm hiking or I'm coaching along the trails. I'm experiencing what true abundance can feel like. And for me, it's a feeling of knowing that no matter what I have or no matter what I don't have, as long as I have the greatest gift in life, which is the gift of breath, I don't need a whole lot more. I truly don't. And so for me, that is what coming home to abundance is about. And I love when I meet other people that have changed their radio station and changed the tune and are now experiencing what the authentic feelings of abundance can be. So with that, I'm going to open it back up to you guys. This hour is going quick.
Let me get a piece of that. Let me get in that ring right
Get in there, Charles. Get in there, brother.
Love it.
Nah, you know, and I'll tell you this much, man. I was sitting there literally right before the show, and my son, he's 3.5. He's literally attached to me. Beautifulest kid. I mean, I just look at him sometimes and I'm just blown away. And he's laying next to me and he said he loved me. And I said, wow. He always says all the time. And I'm just like, and for a second I had to just pause, because I looked at that and I thought, you know what? What do I have to do to make sure that beautiful unconditional love is always there? He's not asking me for anything. You know what I'm saying? And I need to make sure, you know, sometimes I think, man, did I, you know, get in that car and have one too many to drink that night, man, and put potential, you know, my life at risk to never seeing him again? That I have, you know, one too many pulls of that joint, man, and put you know, my life at risk for never seeing him again, or you know. So when we really slim it down, you know, Jay, you're living your best life right now, man. And you know, when I see people getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning or 7 o'clock in the morning, be at some job by 9 o'clock, 8:30 in the morning. Some people are talking about they got to work from 7 to 7. I'm like, man, I'm blessed. I'm blessed. And because we've allowed our minds to be free, that we haven't been on the chain that says that, listen, we have to do it like this. And this is success, that we've made and created our own success at this point from simplicity. Now, there's nothing wrong with having a few things. I've got a great little Jeep, but I don't even want another car because my plans are somewhere else. I'm trying to scale back because I want to focus on living a more simple life, man. So when folks are sitting at the job, I'm laying on the beach. And I think that cutting it down to simplicity, being able to just and know that we have people in our lives that love us. That each one of us here has somebody that truly loves us and wants nothing but the best for us. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. Is to there's this what's the song? The greatest thing you'll ever learn. Nat King Cole. The greatest thing you'll ever learn is just to love and be loved in return. And that's literally the greatest thing, man. Is just to love and be loved in return. So that's my little 2 cents, brothers.
Beautiful, my
Ev,
brother.
Ev, what do you make of that? What's your spin?
When my brother starts talking about love, man, I just melt. No, I love that, brother. I love it. And, you know, it's funny, Charles, you talk about your little man there. You know, I've been very fortunate, as a lot of you guys know here on Real Men Real Talk Live, to be now mentoring and guiding my young god, my little nephew, who, funnily enough, it's his birthday out there on the Lions Gate portal today. So happy birthday, nephew. But, you know, like for being able to pay forward in a way that I think we're starting to see that one of those shortcuts to really experience what we define this word abundance is to just show up in your own world and be a service for others. And also to show beautiful gratitude for everything that you do have. You know, we're too busy complaining about everything what we don't have. Whereas if we just woke up every single day and thought about the breath that goes through our body, the blood that flows through our veins, the salt that goes through the body, and all these beautiful things that are already within us, then we start to attract all this abundance and what I call flow into our life. So, yeah, Charles, man, I understand what you're talking about there, brother. It's beautiful.
Yeah. It's
Yeah. Yeah, it's about looking. Go ahead, Charles.
I'm learning from you guys, man. Seriously.
Yeah, I mean, in my little video today, promoting the show, what in my stream of thought, and it's a challenge for me, is to really look at what is in our life.
Yeah.
Look at what is in our life. We get caught up in what isn't, what I have to accomplish, what I need to do. And it's a good practice to start looking at what is in our life. And also a form of abundance is looking at what we've accomplished in our lives, because those accomplishments came from our abundance.
Yeah.
Our accomplishments in life, whatever that is for everyone, came from our abundance.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it again. Our accomplishments in life came from our abundance, but we might not even have known that. We might not even have been conscious of the fact that, wow, I accomplished this. And whatever you've accomplished, I have a friend here in Nashville who is very accomplished in what he has done. He had been at the pinnacle of what he's done, but he's got this beautiful family. And he said, this is my abundance. Is my wife and my kids. This is my abundance. This is what I live for. So he's defined his abundance. Now, personally, I don't have that. So it's about defining that abundance for ourselves. And a good way to look at it is look at what do I have in life? Who do I have in my life? As Charles says, who loves us unconditionally, who loves us just for who the hell we are.
That's it.
And then look at that. And that in and of itself is an accomplishment, because we've worked on ourselves enough to become the people that we are now, the loving people that we are now. And that is all another form of abundance.
Let me jump in with 1 second. I was looking at something yesterday. Jillian Barbary, who is the host in LA. I've been on her show. What network is that, Josh? Jillian Barbary, the Fox.
I don't know.
Yeah. Jillian Barbary. She's on the host of Fox or something like that. And she commented on, and I thought this was so dope. She commented on Jason Momoa, who is Lisa Bonet's husband, right? And he had done her car over. She had an old Mustang, so he had it redone for her. And she said, man, I'm trying to find it, but she said, where do they assemble men like this? Like, what factory, and can I get one, please? And I thought, man, that is powerful. I mean, think about it, that another woman looks and says, where do they manufacture men like this? Because of how him and his wife are. An amazing couple, man, that just their love, that's their happiness, that's their focal point. You know, she doesn't even have to work, right? She could be starring in TV shows. He makes enough money to take care of the whole family. And they got a little tribe over there. But once again, that's their Zuwataneo. That's all that they need. And they have a great life and a great time. And I think, once again, a lot of us have been stuck in this rut of, we got to do it like this. People are so scared to think outside the box, think outside of so-called failure. And it's never a failure. I posted on my Instagram the other day, and it said, and the trouble is, if you don't risk anything, you risk even more. And that's the truth. I would rather, man, live my life the way I'm living it right now. And trust me, I have no guarantees. If I don't get up every day and make it happen, it doesn't happen. But man, it's been an amazing ride. And I can't take it back. I don't have any 401k. I don't have any retirement benefits, man, but I know I'm good. And it's been an amazing ride. I don't know. That's just my 2 cents. That's all I can say.
I think it's worth more than that.
Hey, Mary Kelly just posted something on there, and as Charles was saying, I don't know who it was that says, where do they make men like that? And Mary Kelly posted, right on this show.
Love it.
I'm going to bring a different perspective, Charles. In the story you just shared about Jillian, I took it to a whole different place with what you shared. And when I took what I heard, what it meant for me was, I went to empathy for her. The fact that she's asking that question of where do you find manufactured men like that? That to me tells me that she's hurting. She hasn't found that relationship. She hasn't found that man that can give her what she thinks she needs or what she thinks she wants. And here's the sad part about that for Jillian Barber and anyone else that is going through what she's going through based on how she asked that question, which is like, before we go seeking it for other people to give us that, we already have the abundance within us. We just haven't been taught how to dust it off and reach for it deep within and tap into it. It's already there. We don't need to be chasing it from other people. Maybe if she found it within herself, and I don't know her, so I'm just making all kinds of presumptions, statements. But perhaps if she had slowed down enough and stopped chasing that manufactured man and started really connecting with herself at her own level and learning how to like herself and maybe even love herself, maybe that man she would manifest that man. Maybe that's where the law of attraction comes in. And maybe she hasn't, because there's something in her life that she hasn't worked on yet for herself. It's just my interpretation of what I heard. It's just a whole nother perspective to look at. Because I could tell you, Charles, a manufactured man isn't, I wouldn't be attracted to a manufactured woman.
No. And she's happily married. I don't think she was saying it like that. I think she was saying it more like, man, the guy's a good guy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think she was more giving him props, not like he's manufactured, but more saying it like, man, this guy is woof. You know what I'm saying? He's a good guy. I think she was saying it like, she wants manufactured.
Well, speaking of manufacturing, with what time would you have left? What I'd like to do is really switch gears here and ask each one of you guys, how can we break our financial connection, a financial worth connection with our self-worth in abundance? Like, how do we break the chain to that relationship? Because, for me, growing up in a small city east of Sedona called New York, I was taught, the rules of engagement were the American dream was all about, success and measurement for me was all about how much I had accumulated in wealth, as well as in material things, and as well as in people to an extent. And so I would really like us to really take some time here to break it down. How is it possible to break the chain between that intimate relationship that millions of us have had and have today in self-worth and financial worth? How do we do that? Josh, any thoughts on that?
I'm going to come. What do you believe you can't have? What do you believe you're not worthy of? That's the question. And when we can finally examine those questions and put that aside, is when we unlock ourselves to that potential. But it's all in our beliefs. What do you believe you can't have? And now I'm in that moment. Literally this week. Charles, like you, I've been working. I had my tech startup that failed.
Yeah.
And then I've been doing coaching, and all of my goal was to work from a beach, both of those businesses. So for over 12 years, I've been wanting to work from a laptop with my toes in the sand.
Yeah.
And this week I said, why can't I have that now?
Yeah, exactly.
Why can't I do that now? And so I'm announcing right here on the show, I'm after I'm done with this production in September, I'm looking at moving to Bali.
Oh,
and not close to home, brother.
Not because the timing is right, like Jay was saying. The one days. I'm tired of one day. What is it in me that believes I can't have that now? And find that and push that aside. And so I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna go. And you know what? It's scary as hell. And that's okay too. But all of my life waiting for the time to be perfect, to have all the money, to do it right, to do it the way I want to do it.
It'll never happen. It'll never happen.
It'll never happen. Done my entire life to do what I want to do. I'm doing it now. And you know what? It's not perfect. It's not the way I thought it would be. And it's not the utopian way I thought it would go.
Yeah.
But it's even better. Just so that's my breakdown and where I'm at.
Let me
feel so good to just say, fuck it, I'm going.
Let me jump in 1 second. And I love that. And I want Evis to hit it. Yo, you said it all. It's never set up right. I remember when I was killing the game in film and television in New York. And man, sometimes I'm like, dude, why'd you leave? But I said, you know what? I wanted to go to LA. But I kept making excuses, man, for about a couple of months. Why? And I said, you know what, dude, I just got to go. I didn't have no plan. I went stayed in the hotel, me and my boy, man. And then, we stayed there for maybe 2 or 3, maybe 2 weeks, found a place, so on and so forth. But the same thing, I'm going to DR, Dominican Republic, man. I don't got no plan. Yeah. I know I can buy a place for maybe 15 grand. I got a buddy out there building a place right now, duplex for 70 grand. I'm like, dude, I'm just going to go and just make it happen.
Yep.
And I can't wait around for this, wait around for that. It'll never happen. And I think a lot of times we get complacent, waiting for things to change, waiting for the right moment, waiting for the right situation, waiting for this to fall into place, waiting for the 401k, waiting for the that, waiting for the kids to leave school. And no.
And you know what, Charles? The universe is the one that's waiting. They're waiting for us right now.
Yeah.
The second that we jump and make this decision, opportunities are going to come. It's going to work out. It's going to happen. And it's us taking this leap that the universe is celebrating and saying, yes, you've waited a whole life to do this. Go and do it. And then we're met with abundance. And then we're met with everything that we need. It'll happen.
You know what, guys? It's Josh. It's what I hear. And then when I hear Jay's story, Josh saying, you know what, I'm just going to get up and move to Bali. Charles, I'm going to the Dominican Republic. I don't know how it's going to work out, but I'm going to do this. Guys, you're coming from a place of abundance.
That's that dance.
If you can stand up and say what you just said, I know I've done it. Jay's done it. 20 years in the corporate world, something inside of me says, I'm going to take my next step in life, create a new life as a photographer. I was coming from, unbeknownst to me, a place of abundance. So what we're demonstrating, what Josh is demonstrating, what Charles is demonstrating, what Jay and I and Evis are demonstrating. For example, Charles just asked Evis, what do you tell people when you don't have a 9-to-5 job? And what do you do? Well, I'm doing what I love to do, coming from a place of abundance, that what is inside of me and the tools that I have and the talents and gifts that I have to help others, this is my abundance. I don't have to go to work, get my 401k, get my salary, get my hospitalization and all that good stuff, and think that's abundance. That's what my father thought what abundance is. What we're demonstrating, guys, right now through our stories, and exactly what Josh just said and Charles just said, we're coming from a place demonstrating being, as Evis says, we are being abundant. You know, I picked up from New York, moved to LA. I moved with abundance. I didn't know what was going to happen there. And then I picked up and I moved to Nashville because there's something inside of us, the abundance that we have inside of us, the value that we have is abundant enough for us to walk through the door of the unknown and know that we walk into that door of the unknown based upon who we have, the work that we have done on ourselves. Okay. As Jay said earlier on his hiking escapades, I've fallen down, I've gotten bloody. Well, I think all of us right here and now could say in life, as we followed our heart, as we followed what our souls were calling us to, we got knocked down and we got bloodied. But there was something inside of us that said, no, this is the path. This is the doorway. I don't know what's in that unknown, but what I'm bringing to that unknown is this dream, this energy, this resonance inside of myself that knows that my calling is to be more. Be more. Whatever that is for us, and to walk into that unknown and to know that the only thing that we need to know in the unknown is us. The only thing when that doorway opens into the unknown that we need to know is us. And you two guys just demonstrated it for the millions of people who are going to watch this show, that what you demonstrated was, I don't know what's going to happen on the other side, but you know what? It makes my heart dance and I'm going. Why? I've done enough damn work in myself that I'm going to go live life, and that is abundance.
Beautiful. Evis, you know, it's just a tough spot you're in now.
Usually,
But I can't piggyback that, man.
Bring it, Evis. You better bring it now, baby.
You know, I'm sitting here shaking from that Jeff Fasano. Oh my God.
And I want to be your friends.
Wow, man. You know I'm an energetic Jeff, and I love you so much, man. That's why I feel you. Look, what I feel from the brothers tonight, and, you know, Josh, you're talking about cutting the track, go and walk about over to another land. You know, Charles, you talk about going to another place as well. Jeff, Jay, you've been in the corporate world. You had to go to another place as well. This isn't about how far we can go away from ourselves. This isn't about what we can bring into our lives and have. Because what we've started to work out, and if you are listening to this show tonight, we are the plan. We are the path. We are the location that we're looking for. So when you start coming back to that location, and we're in a time where we've been shredding layers and layers and layers off the old self. We've been in a full moon at the start of the week of Aquarius, the water bearer. The emotions are running dry. Have you brought your subconscious to the surface consciously to now reflect on what you need to let go? You surrender to that. And then you trust. You trust in the process. Because once you start trusting in the process, it won't be about what you have. It won't be about where you want to go. It will always be an abundance because you're in that state of being of abundance. But until we let go, like I said, of all those layers, we still play old programs and old patterns based on basically our childhood. And so we didn't really tap into that tonight, but we have in many, many shows. And when we get back to that childlike wonder, what did we used to do? We used to go on adventures. We used to go to different locations because we were all adventurers at heart. So on that note, yeah, thank you, brothers.
Beautiful, Ev. Beautiful.
Hey, and I got a job. I told you already. We're working on 8 days, and I want all of you guys, man, to be a part of that, man. I want Josh to be a producer, Jeff to do photography, Jay and Evis. I want you guys to be life coaches on the show. And we're gonna do some work. We should be shooting in probably about 3.5-4 months. So I'll keep you guys posted. So Josh, don't run off yet. I got more gig for you before you bounce. But
or we'll meet in the Dominican. That sounds good there too.
Yeah.
Thanks for the invite, Charles.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
It means the world. I know it means the world to all of us. I can't believe we're coming up on the hour. This tonight's show flew by, and there's a part of me that doesn't want to end the show because, you see, for me, this show is about abundance. This show is about 5 men showing up right where we're at, having gone through what everyone went through this week. And each one of us has had to face something that we loved and maybe something that we didn't love so much. But we still show up. And we still show up ready to be vulnerable and talk and put it out there in the universe. And you see, this is what I've learned in my life is that if we want other people to show up in our life, we have to first show up in our life. It's up to us to show up first. And then we get to attract other people that are connected with us and to us. I had to learn the hard way. I had to nearly die to begin to understand the true essence of what abundance can mean. And I'm gonna end with my own personal experience, something that's unfolded. And I've been reminded one more time when I spent my lifetime trying to control every outcome very strategically at home and in the workplace. And for me, that self-control was about wanting to avoid failure, wanting to avoid falling down and getting hurt, getting bloody. And it was just 2019 or so ago that this idea came to me that I wanted to pitch to one of the corporate event companies in the U.S. to share my hike and heel experiences that I do out here in Arizona. And so I approached one company and I sold myself, and they brought me on as a vendor. And then it got quiet. I didn't get one booking. And then COVID hit. Fast forward, COVID hits. The week we decide to leave Scottsdale and take our Bali move to Sedona, Arizona, I get a hit from this woman who says, I'm with this corporate event company, one of the largest in the US. I love the work you're doing. And we need you, especially now in this country. We want you to be on our team to work, do these hike and heels with these high level corporate clients of ours. And that was 3 weeks ago. I am now a vendor for them, and I've gotten my first 2 hits. And the one that I'm most excited about for today is one that I got to show up this morning at 6 a.m. and do a site visit with two of the people responsible for this major event. And it happens to be for one of the largest motivational speakers in the world today. And it's a very small exclusive group. Now, whether or not I get the gig, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a part of me that will be a little disappointed. It'll be the ego within me that will take the hit.
Yep.
But I did the best that I could, and I showed up. And I'll know in just a few days if I got it or not. And I'm really excited. But here's the lesson from all this. The lesson that I understood now is that when I tried to create a vision of how I thought it should be, I didn't get one hit. I didn't get one job. When I let it go, and I just was living in abundance, literally moving to Sedona, it showed back up in my life with a totally different company. A company that
better and bigger.
Better and bigger. And you know, it isn't even about the money. This is not about, I'm not excited for the money. I'm excited because it's my passion and purpose in life. And now I get to potentially walk into the corporate world and do some major, exciting work with them. And so there's where, for me, abundance has changed. Because when I stopped chasing it in 2019 and just let it come to me, it came to me big time. And so, you know, more will be revealed. We don't need to know. You know, I got a couple of calls today from the guys asking, how did it go? And I was like, you know, I don't know. I don't need to know today. I just can live in the unknowing and be excited about it. And so, you know, that's how, those are my closing thoughts. Every time I get out of my way now, my life gets better. Every time I just lean into faith in the universe, not knowing what can unfold. I had no idea why I was being led to Sedona. And I know today that it's not only for this opportunity, there's others, health opportunities for both Mary and I that are going to unfold here in this amazing community of loving people. So I'm excited, you know, and the beautiful thing is, you know, people say, do you think you'll stay here forever? And the answer is, I don't know. And I don't need to know that answer today. And it's so unimportant. What is forever? Forever is today. I'm here. So yes, if you want to, you know, look at, am I here today? Yeah. It's today forever? Absolutely. And so with that, I'm going to open it up. If any of you guys have any closing thoughts that you want to just push out there, you got 2 minutes, or we'll let it go and let it flow.
I'll just quickly say, my brothers and sisters, and Jay, man, absolutely beautiful, brother. Absolutely beautiful. I'm so happy and so grateful for you, my brother.
Thank you.
But ask yourself, brothers and sisters, who are you without the pain from the past. Ask yourself, who are you from the lack of worthiness from the past? Ask yourself, who are you without the shame, the guilt, and all of the hurt that you've experienced from your past? Because deep down, truly inside, that is where your abundance is about to happen. That's for me, Jay.
Beautiful. Thank you, Evis.
And I got one more to dovetail. Do you honor and value who you are? The question I have for everyone out there, because I moved through this. This is one of my challenges. Is, do I honor and value who I am? And do I honor and value my talents, gifts, and abilities to walk into the unknown and know that I'm enough? So that's my parting thoughts. Do you truly honor and value you and your talents and gifts? And take time to look at this, because that will lead you to your abundance, which is you.
Beautiful, Jeff. Beautiful, brother.
I'm gonna jump in there. I'm gonna get in the ring real quick. Once again, I said I learned from you guys a lot, and I've learned a lot just in general. Having to just grow, address, look at how you guys have come to the spaces that you're in right now, and even what you just said right there, Jeff, as far as honoring. And I want to say that, I want to say that a few months ago, and I'm getting this off my chest, right? A few months ago, I met an amazing young lady. You guys know her, Elena, and came on board, helped me with some amazing stuff, from the kids to the business to just overall. I don't think I honored her the way that I should have. Sometimes we get caught up in work and life and things like that. And I'm saying this just because, sometimes you can hurt feelings, or people can feel unappreciated by not giving them what they really deserve as far as the honor or the attention. Because at times, we may have people who believe or see things in us, and they don't have to be there. Right? They don't have to help. They don't have to show the love. They don't have to give gifts. They don't have to be a part of whatever it is that they see in us. So I just wanted to give that some honor, because I love her to death. She's a sweet person, great person, and was riding for a lot of what I do and stand for, and just wanted to put that out there.
Wow. That's amazing, Charles. I want to take a moment to honor you for having the courage to do what you just did. Because what you did is, we know obviously when things kind of can go south with people and relationships, we forget the most important thing, that no matter what, we all deserve to be honored, and we all deserve to be respected, even when we are hurting. And what you did tonight was just take total accountability and show her love, probably in a very surprising, spontaneous, unexpected way. And that's what makes you a real man.
She deserves it. She's one of the most amazing people that I've met, and she's got a great heart. She deserves every bit of it. And sorry I didn't do it sooner. But
the beautiful thing is we show up just on time, Charles. Yeah. Whether it be sooner or later, what matters is that the words are spoken and the person gets to hear it directly or indirectly. And so thank you for teaching all of us something tonight that maybe didn't have the courage to do what you just did. It takes courage, just like it takes courage to announce and make that commitment to himself by putting it out in the universe that he is going to move to Bali when his season wraps up in September. And, this is how it works today, guys. Josh, I got to give you 2 minutes to close this out.
Such a beautiful evening with you guys. Damn, I miss you guys. I'm so grateful, so filled with gratitude. And we touched on that just a little, but gratitude is king. Appreciating what we do have. I had the house with the pool and the big backyard and all the stuff, and I was my most unhappy. And in the moments where I had my least, when I found true gratitude and love and appreciation, and I found myself and I found love for myself, I was my happiest. And so, yes, it's not a destination. It lies within us. And we have the power to change our perception around abundance, around happiness, around gratitude and appreciation. And that power lies within us. And so I think in my closing thoughts, examine your beliefs. What are those nasty little beliefs that you can't do this, or you can't do that, or you can't have this until X and X is in place? Throw it out. Follow your joy. Like Jeff said, it's in you. It's in you. Your abundance is in you, and it lies in your joy and your happiness. So throw all the other stuff out and just follow your joy. And that will put you in that abundant energy, and the world will meet you there. So
beautiful, brother.
That dance. Oh, that was the last thing I wanted to say, was that it's like being the man in a dance, right? The man has to lead. So we have to lead with our energy first and with ourselves first, and the partner will meet you in that dance.
That's right. Right, Josh. That's right.
Love you guys.
Beautiful. I'd like to thank a moment here to thank our viewers and listeners who showed up with us tonight. If you heard something that resonated with you, please share it out. Share it out with the community so that we can continue to grow and touch more men's lives and women's lives, bringing hope and inspiration that, in fact, we could all come together and grow together, because that's how this works. We get to touch one another's lives by having the courage to first touch our own, as we are doing as viewers, listeners, and as part of our group here, this group of amazing men that are my co-hosts. And with that, guys, stay safe, stay healthy, stay in abundance, create your own abundance. I love you guys. We'll see you next week on Real Men, Real Talk Live.